If you've ever taken any interest in true crime, and we suspect you have, if you're watching this, then you have probably seen this man's face circulated across YouTube and news outlets. This man is Nikko Jenkins, a convicted killer that took the lives of 4 innocent people in a short 10-day span in 2013. But why did Nikko do this? Was he evil? Was it truly the Egyptian god named Apophis giving him orders, or did he suffer a debilitating mental illness? Perhaps his crimes could have been prevented if only his caretakers listened to his pleas to give him the help he needed. Let us find out the truth, as we dive into the complicated life and crimes of Nikko Jenkins.
Nikko Allen Jenkins was born in Colorado on September 16, 1986 to parents David McGee and Lori Jenkins.
The couple had 5 other children together but were never married, and David left the family when Nikko was only 7. Nikko's upbringing after moving to Omaha, Nebraska was anything but stable. He was subjected to mental, physical, and sexual abuse and bore witness to illegal activity in the home. Nikko recalled early childhood memories in which he cleaned up blood from the floor after his parents got into physical altercations. In one instance, even resorted to hitting his father with a rock to break up another spat between the two. At the age of 7, Nikko brought a loaded handgun to school and was removed from his home and placed into foster care. He was evaluated at Methodist Richard Young Hospital after becoming more aggressive towards others and expressing a desire to self-harm. In the assessment, his IQ was recorded to be in the low average range, and he was put in special education classes. Nikko continued to land himself in trouble at school and eventually dropped out altogether. Hospital records indicate that from an early age Nikko suffered from mood problems and was diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder that prompted him to seek emotional stimulation. The trauma he suffered was not easily pushed aside, as he also suffered from insomnia and night terrors. Nikko also reported that he heard voices, and his mother sometimes caught him speaking to people that were not there. There were telltale signs of psychopathy such as bedwetting, starting fires, and killing animals were all present in Nikko's childhood. In addition to other severe behavioral and mental health issues that should have indicated to law enforcement and healthcare professionals that something much worse was to come. By the time Nikko reached the age of 13, he had been arrested multiple times for theft, arson, and weapons charges. In addition to a substance abuse problem and gang involvement in 2002, at the age of 15, Nikko committed 2 carjackings that included an armed robbery. He was sentenced to 18 years in prison in 2003. At the age of 17, he served 2 years in a juvenile detention center until he was transferred to an adult facility. In July of 2005, he assaulted a prison guard that ended in an extended sentence. During his stay in prison, Nikko participated in violence, fights, self-mutilation, verbal threats, and all-around poor behavior, causing him to be placed in solitary confinement for extended periods of time. In fact, he spent more time in solitary confinement than in the general population. In July of 2013, Nikko was released from prison.
On August 11, 2013, a patrol officer discovered the bodies of 2 men in a white pickup truck at Spring Lake Park in Omaha.
The 2 men, identified as Juan Uribe Pena and Jorge Cajida Ruiz, had both been shot in the head and deer slugs found. Only a week later, on August 19th, another body was found, that of 22-year-old Curtis Bradford. He had also been shot in the head, and deer slugs were found near the body. In August 2013, a call was placed to 911 for shots fired. Andrea Kruger was carjacked after leaving work, and her body was found shortly after a call was placed for shots fired near the area. Andrea's car was discovered the following day in an alley, after an attempt was made to set it on fire. 9 days later, police received a call from a woman claiming that Nikko Jenkins, her ex-boyfriend, threatened to kill her and her family, and revealed that he had been given a gun. Nikko was arrested on terroristic threats, and a search warrant was issued for his apartment. A shotgun was retrieved during the search, and the slugs at the crime scenes were shown to have come from the weapon during tests. Police found surveillance footage of a woman purchasing the same type of ammunition used in the crimes. The woman was identified as Lori Jenkins.
There you go. I like to be alone. I need to speak to someone. Okay. Because that's what makes my mind frame goes back. Obviously, I'm schizophrenic, bipolar, so I don't take medication. So right now, that's why I'm on state. That's why I told them they need to hurry up when I'm in this mind frame. Okay. So when I speak to you, it's clear. But another thing, what I'm about to do, the sheriff office and you guys need to be honest with me. Okay. If we're going to make this work and get this closure for his family, you're going to have to tell me what you have and what you don't have. That way I know if I have to go get it for you, because these are my cousins. Okay. These are my 2 family, the ones that were in the house that day. Okay. They're brothers, but the one of them, you think I'm a mental case. He's a severe mental case. He has documented being in Lincoln Regional Center, Psychiatric Hospital. See what I'm saying? So he goes into, like, even when y'all arrested me, I don't know if you were on the team, but he was acting up when they were pulling us out of the house. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want this to, that's why I didn't want to talk down at the jail.
I'll give him on the stick, all right? I'm going to make you a fresh pot, too. That's not the best. Right now. I'll make you a fresh pot. Here he is. right? You good?
I need to speak to her superiors about this. The ones that I know that can.
He's my boss.
This is a man.
The ones that I know that can make the.
Nico, John Pankin.
I mean, first of all, this is going to be a one night, but you're going to get everything that you're going to need to give her family closure. But I want you to understand something, and I'm going to say this very clearly. I was not there. Only thing I was hearsay, not hearsay, but to say, like, okay, my religion of Cathonia Asubel, that's the underworld. He was like, on the mummy, the black book. So this was them, my little cousins, the one that were in the house with me. That when I got to serve the search warrant.
Right.
This was their ritual of sacrifice. And I'm going to give you from A to Z. This is not no goose chase. This is the real deal right here. What you people signed up for.
Okay. Before we get any further, though, I need to read you this rights advisory form, okay? Okay?
I never knew the who, the what, the when, the where. Only thing I gave was the intelligence. Okay?
Describe this to me. What this 9mm? Describe it to me.
Describe the weapon.
Yes.
It's a high point. It's a high point. I believe it's a high point rifle. But it shoots 9mm slugs. If you was to see this weapon, you would not believe that it was the murder weapon. Like I said, weeks prior to this, when I first got out, I gave intelligence. Like I said, I didn't know who was coming, what was coming, who was it going to be used on. All I did was give the intelligence.
What kind of intelligence?
Intelligence of when would be the best window of opportunity. What roads to take in. If you're going to do something way out west, they have cameras on the lights. As you know, when you take Fort from military ad, it takes you all the way out with no cameras, pitch black at nighttime. You realize that, right? So if you're coming from that crime scene, you can hit straight out to Fort, and take Fort all the way back to military ad, all the way to the Walmart. That's off right off the interstate. Ain't that Walmart right off the interstate? Off of military ad?
Yeah.
So my point is, things like that, the intelligence of what paths to take, you know what I mean, to avoid the cameras, things of that nature. The bar closed at this time, bartenders, and they walked out to their cars, but after that, you know, and you know what I mean? Because the specific point was to get her to an isolated place. You see what I'm saying? To where, and obviously, when you're out there, only thing that's, like, especially off of Maple, once you leave off of Maple, everything is black. Everything's black out there. So, it was a perfect opportunity. And that's why y'all don't even understand, man. I don't understand how hard this is for me right now, because I'm betraying my family. Do you understand it? This is not just me. I understand one family's getting closure, you know, but I'm literally betraying my family and my bloodline.
After.
You alright?
You alright, man? You alright, man?
That's what I don't understand, man. Is that all I was in the restaurant for instance, man. All I wanted was helping people, man. You need one copy or not? Yes, please. Okay. But I'm telling you right now, what I just given them, I will testify to that. This is the first time that I've ever aided and assisted law enforcement in my life. So any jury, any judge, any prosecutor will be, once I sit on that stand and testify to this, it's golden. Any jury is not going to look at me and say, oh, he's told before and he's done. With my history and my reputation, and this first time testimony I've ever aided and assisted law enforcement, and everything I'm saying is accurate.
This is, you gotta come to terms.
I understand.
Because here, listen to me. But listen, no, listen. I've listened to you for a long time. It's time for you to listen to me. Because like what you said, if you don't tell me what the heck happened out there, people are going to think the absolute worst. People are going to think the absolute worst. If this is a robbery went bad, if this someone did something really stupid, now's the time. Because otherwise, you're right. They're going to look at Nikko Jenkins as a flat, bloody killer. That's what's going to happen. Do you not realize I got Nikko Jenkins? Do you not realize that? I got Nikko Jenkins. I got you.
What do you mean you got me?
I got your DNA at the murder scene. I got your DNA in the car.
Sir.
I got the weapon. I got Nikko Jenkins. I don't need to make... I don't care about it. I just want other people that are involved in it. What the hell happened out there? And why? I already... You know, I know who. I know what. I know when. I know where. And then when I talked to you earlier, you were saying stuff about a carjacking.
That woman's husband and children, that woman's husband is grieving right now. This is not just some psycho killer that just wanted to go trophy. I'm documented psychiatrically disordered. I'm documented chemically imbalanced. This is a fact. So my point is...
We're well aware of that.
My point is this, though. This family didn't deserve this.
Right.
This could have been prevented had it not been for the Nebraska Department of Corrections doing what they knew what they supposed to have did. And they never gave me an opportunity. They never gave me an opportunity for treatment because I wouldn't take the medicine.
It was revealed that the February 1st victims, Juan Uribe Pena and Jorge Cajita Ruiz, were lured to the park with the promise of sex by Nikko's sister, Erica Jenkins, and cousin Christine Bordeaux. When Nikko met them, he promptly shot both men once in the head. Before the trio robbed them, neither of the men had any link to Nikko, Erica, or Christine. The next victim, Curtis Bradford, was a cellmate of Nikko. The two happened to run into each other at a party. Nikko falsely recruited Curtis to commit robberies together. Curtis follows Nikko into the car where Erica is waiting. When they arrive at their destination, they exit the vehicle where Erica shoots him in his head. This upset Nikko, as he was the one that wanted to kill Curtis, causing him to shoot him again in the back of the head. Their last victim, Andrea Kruger, had just left her shift at a local bar when she decided to go through the drive-thru at McDonald's on her way home. On that evening, Nikko was joined again by Erica and Christine, and now his uncle, Warren Levering. They spot Andrea's SUV in the restaurant parking lot and follow her until they reach a secluded junction, where Nikko rushes the driver's side and forces Andrea out of the car. Be competent enough again to stand trial, and that he manipulating the system into believing he was more mentally unstable than he appeared. After he was ruled competent, Nikko began acting out in protest in a series of self-harm episodes. He swallowed prison keys and mutilated himself when he tried to carve 666 into his face. Unfortunately, he was not looking at the reflection properly and ended up carving 999. And in one instance he cut his penis in an attempt to make it look like his serpent god Apophis and ended up with 27 stitches. He also tried to cut his tongue in half to make it look forked like a snake, but failed, so smeared blood all over his cell. His case finally went to trial, and after firing his legal team, Nikko represented himself. He acted inappropriately in the courtroom when his crimes were described and appeared to be speaking in tongues or an unknown language. However, he pledged no contest in a 3-panel bench trial and was convicted. In May of 2017, Nikko Jenkins was sentenced to death for his crimes.
Therefore, this panel finds that the death penalty is appropriate, should be, and is hereby given for each of the 4 murders by the defendant. It is therefore the sentence of this court as follows. At case CR 13-2768, count 1, murder in the first degree, a class 1 felony, death. Count 2, use of a deadly weapon, firearm to commit a felony, a class 1C felony, 45 to 50 years to run consecutive to all murder convictions at counts 1, 4, 7, and 10. Count 3, possession of a deadly weapon by a prohibited person, class 1D felony, 45 to 50 years to run consecutive to all murder convictions at counts 1, 4, 7, and 10, and count 2.
Warren Levering, Nikko's uncle, was sentenced to 40 years for his part in the murder of Andrew Kruger. Nikko's sister, Erica, was only sentenced to 20 to 40 years for her participation in the murder of Curtis Bradford. Christine Bordeaux was sentenced to 20 years.
DVDs for you, and I'm making for you. I want you to know that you making my heart flutter. I love you. I think about you every day. I wrote this song for you, so you know that I love you. And all I need you to do is stand with me right now in this moment, that I'm fighting this case and stuff like that. Because at the same time, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna have our time, and everything's gonna be all right. So just be good, just chill, and listen to me sing this song to you. And I was thinking about just talking about stuff we talked about, you know. I wrote this song for you and I sung it to you before, but it's not the same as hearing it now. But I'm gonna start it off in a second. All right.
Nikko did attempt to appeal his death sentence but was denied. It was concluded that though Jenkins suffered from personality disorders, he was likely feigning much of his affliction. In the end, Nikko Jenkins was right in asking not to be released from prison, and the justice system failed him in many ways. However, it does not take away from the fact that Nikko Jenkins knew right from wrong and decided to take 4 innocent lives from families and friends.